All right, ladies and gents, welcome to some 1v1 Nomad. We need to do this more. I guess Nomad isn't always in the ranked pool, but we do not cast a lot of Nomad with noobs, and that's exactly what we have here. So in the red, who has yet decided, oh god, please don't make any more houses. Don't make a fishing ship and don't make any more houses. Alert, alert. Red has exactly enough wood to build a town center. We have red Fibenak, I guess, is how you say that name. And then in the blue, pretty clear on how to play Nomad, already building a TC, we have Barry Lyndon. And we just found out that is a movie. It's a classic movie and a classic book. It was apparently pretty good. And okay, false alarm, everything's good. Red made the dock, and now red is going to make the TC, so we are in good shape. So, Fibonacci? Oh, the one there. Okay, sorry. I'm not too good at reading names. Anyways, we have two civilizations, which I wouldn't say are really that great on Nomad, because Nomad starts typically come down to bonuses when it comes to additional food or wood savings. In theory, you know, Incas, when they build their first house, they do get additional pop space, so that is some wood savings. But in general, I wouldn't necessarily suggest it. Now, what's exciting about this, guys, is that we did Nomad many times before. Not like a ton, as I previously established, but we've casted Nomad before. But guess what? No one was docking. But we did Wandering Warriors Cup recently, and I've been talking about how what you want to do on Nomad is you build with 2 villagers, you build your TC with 2 vills, and then you build your dock with the other one. And so we at least have a dock. Now, the key here is you start with a lot of food in the bank, right? So you want to do what Blue has done. What? Barry is a beast. Barry is a beast. And you use your first couple vills to chop wood to then make a fishing ship. So this is actually quite good. The only tweak I could say for these guys, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tweaks they need to make because it is 700 elo. Try and make your dock next to a shorefish or directly next to a shorefish instead of having to walk like this. But this is really good. I'm concerned for red simply because red seems to be sending a bit more onto food here. But, you know, for blue, blue might go too heavy. Like, look, blue's now gone too heavy onto wood. So, you know, Nomad is just complicated. And you don't know what's out there. There's plenty of darkness. You don't have a scout. And it's hard to stick to any one build order, which is why some people hate it, which is why some people like it. Sorry for blinking the fog of war. But yeah, okay, one person can't produce out of their TC, the other person can't produce out of their dock, so I still think blue has got the advantage here for the time being. All right. Someone says, I don't like Nomad due to high RNG. Depends. Well, the thing is, though, there's not really a ton of RNG compared to the old Nomad. Like, how long have you guys been watching my channel? People in chat will tell me, YouTube can tell me if this hits. Like, we are so spoiled now, right? Like, especially the high-level players. They'll complain if, like, their sheep is 3 tiles away from the opponent's sheep when they watch the recorded game. Like, we are so unbelievably spoiled. And yes, the level is higher than ever, so there's arguments to be made either way. Old Nomad, you could have a map where, like, all the gold was here and all the stone was here. The DE Nomad, if you look around, you're going to find some deer, you're going to find some boars, you're going to find stuff if you just kind of look around. Also, there's always water. They don't have it, so there's landlock, so you can always dock. So yeah, there is RNG, and I would say that there can definitely be what you could consider civ wins more on Nomad than other maps. But I really don't think it's that bad. Like, look, you've got a boar here, you've got berries. He looks here, he's got gold, and I guess the only thing might be stone, right? We'll see. But I'm trying to think of the timeline. I mean, I'm talking 2015, 2016. There's also a game on my YouTube channel. I forget the exact title because it's been a while. But I think it's 23 Pop Victory. And I recall it being just a ridiculous 1v1 Nomad game on classic AOC. And it was hilarious. Like walls and towers and Vill fights. Because they found where all the golden stone was. And then they just fought over it the whole feudal age. Okay, blue has had what looks to be the more experienced start. However, blue, you're almost overfishing a teensy bit. You don't need this much wood, right? You can actually take your cows now and other things. We do have some walling from blue. A very common nomad strategy, especially if you have a fish boom, is to go for fast castle. I'm so happy to see 700 elo players doing this. Like, imagine subtracting the fishing ships from their economies right now. Where their economies would look. That's what I was expecting. Blue honestly has been the most impressive here. And we've got Incas for blue. A civ you don't see as frequently. We saw it in the previous game, though, here on stream. And Incas have a lot of options. And I actually really like them against the Franks. Franks are a teensy bit one-sided. They tend to make a lot of knights. You have halberdier out of your barracks if you want to do that. You have really good monks if you want to go that route. And their unique unit, the Kameyuk, is also really strong. Now, what blue could do is maybe take the boar, maybe drop a mill here. Does see some stone and gold, though, so pretty good there. Red hasn't gone for any boars. Maybe doesn't notice this one's here and kind of stopped producing fishing ships at times. What is the most obvious civ win for Nomad? Well, I mean, honestly, I could just list 5 civilizations that are top 5 on Nomad. And I could tell you they should always win. Not always win, but they always have big advantages. Like, let's say Spanish versus Huns. Huns start with minus 100 wood on Nomad, so they can't dock and make a TC. Actually, you want to hear something funny? So, I saw a clip. I think it was Draken. And Draken was playing a Nomad ranked game. And he placed a dock. I forget exactly what it was. I think he placed a dock. And then halfway through was like, oh god. And then deleted it. And then he had 274 wood. 274 wood remaining. 1 wood away from building a TC. He had to make a lumber camp to get, well, then 101 wood to get back to where he was. And yeah, so that game, he didn't even play it. It was just GG at the start. Is this low elo yet? Yes, it is, my friend. 700 elo. And holy eco. This is low elo, high eco. That's what we'll say. I think blue could go up to feudal age any moment now. And blue sees that red has fish here. So if you've watched Wandering Warriors Cup, and I hope you guys did, because there were a lot of good games and a lot of crazy maps. A lot of things to learn here as well, I think. Anyways, finding the opponent's fish is a really big deal. And so a lot of the strategies on regular Nomad revolved around finding the dock and then killing those fishing ships. Now look at the food brought in here. Crazy eco here for blue. Blue is well ahead in this game. Blue also walling up a lot, so that's not bad. We'll see. I feel like 700 elo is what 1000 elo used to be. Maybe that's just me, though. I think it very much depends. Like, I think a big thing is there are a lot of 700 or 800 elo players who were once 100 elo higher or 150 elo higher. But they're really busy with work and life or school or they play other games and they come back and it's just really bad. Or in general, they just lack consistency. Like, I think consistency is the biggest factor. And so sometimes I'll watch 750 or 700 and say, wow, I'm impressed. Other times I'm like, oh, I just casted 500 elo. And it looked a little more impressive. But I'm loving the fishing ships. It's just that you're not seeing either player go to gold. That would be a 16 eco swing for red if he went to gold, made fire galleys. That would be minus 10 drop for Fibonacci? I don't know how to say Achi, I'm sorry. I should just continue to say red. They really should see that, and I think they had plenty of time to, but maybe they didn't see it. I don't know. Okay. I think I understand now. Red's going to take this boar because this is his pet. Or maybe he's going to take the boar after the berries. He's like saving the meat for later, you know? Because they've got a lot of fish, they've got berries, they've got boar. You don't want to eat all your meat at once, I guess. I know that you guys, this is an embarrassing moment. I know that you guys are aware that Fibonacci is something. I have absolutely no clue what it is in reference to. So again, before everyone's like, OMG, and starts laughing at me, all I do is Age of Empires 2 for you, so that's why I'm out of life experiences. It's a math thing? Oh, that explains it. Dude, math, please. I can do math pretty well in my head. But beyond that, I was the kid who copied everyone's homework in school. So I'm sure that surprises you guys. I'm not even embarrassed anymore. I'm not even embarrassed anymore. Also, my school didn't really do... It wasn't the best education. Okay, so... Red could add a scout here and look around to see what the opponent's up to. Blue, I do like Blue's general game plan of add buildings as part of walls and wall up to stay safe. What, 7 times 8? 56. But I think going to gold late is definitely going to hurt here. That seems to be something that Red has not done. I say that, though, but Red actually pulled the villagers off of gold. And Red wants to go for an out-and-out scout rush here. So I guess my advice to you guys out there, if you play Nomad, definitely want to think about going to gold while you're on the way to feudal to make fire galleys. Oh, it'd be so sad for blue. No way, dude. Oh, no way. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, Red clicked in. The Red didn't actually notice. He just clicked to find the enemy. And thankfully for blue, I think the walls are going to be down. So only will be one scout trapped in here. Now, what I'd love to see from Red, yeah, look, Red just clicked to the corner. He actually seems to be scouting with fishing ships. Which is interesting for a player who hasn't made fire galleys. So, I mean, that's... Maybe he was trying to find the opponent's base, too. I have no clue. But, I mean, he's got a lot of scouts, and he does notice there's walls here for blue. So, I'd love to see a transport ship come into play for red. And a great opportunity for both of these players to maybe go for some aggression on water. We have not seen that. Blue is just casually making the gate with this villager. I don't even know if blue knows the scouts in here. Hey, hey, hey. We will see. Oh, wait. Villagers walking out here? Where are you going? Blue, don't take any unnecessary risks. Also, making houses in front of your archery ranges means you can't send units out that way. Ah! Where are you going? Did he click a... I think maybe he clicked them to a tree that was back here or something to chop wood. But they're dead now. And now Red at least got value from his scouts. I was a little concerned for Red that wouldn't happen. Authorite, welcome. He says, what are their elos? Authorite, there's this very weird bug we have. If you don't buy 16 chocolate bars, eat them all within the next 30 minutes, you won't be able to see it on screen. So make sure you go do that, okay? That's the sacrifice you're going to have to make. If you do that, and everyone can attest to this in chat, if you've eaten all that chocolate, it's literally right here on your screen. So keep an eye out. Red kills another Vill and then says, I need armor. Which does delay the castle age time, right? That's more food invested. And now blue has lost a lot of people. And the people have heard. And the people are like, well, what we need is we need spearmen. And this lady says, oh, okay, I'll do it. And she's not safe. So, you know, we're seeing the 700 elo now, right? The thought process from blue was like, let's wall up. Only the execution wasn't top tier. Adding in spearmen is correct, but maybe get this villager back in your base. Or at the very least, build the barracks with someone who's currently safe. Okay, anyways, Red, on the way to Castle Age in a bit. After a bunch of Vills. And what I like from Red is I like the fact he's going over to stone right now. Also, he towered this wood line, which is pretty cheeky. The blue must be feeling pretty claustrophobic right now. Now, what you can do is you can make another dock. I call it redocking, right? And then you can send your fish there. Currently, these fishing ships are kind of out of work. You don't want that. You do want to transition into farms, yes. And I think it's going to be really complicated for this elo to farm and pay attention to fish. So fish are probably just going to be forgotten, but... All right. Lots of buildings here from Red. Red's got 4 stables right now. And 3 barracks. So, well, just wants options, I suppose. But the reason I like stone is because your opponent has penned themselves in here. So the opponent is just sitting behind walls, and so you can go a lot of army, and then you can castle drop him. And that's one of the best things to do with Franks. Also, what's nice about Franks is if they go into pikemen, you can make throwing axemen out of those castles. Blue has next to no scouting here, and is still being very casual about the second barracks. Very casual. Still making archers, getting crossbow, but doesn't have pikemen yet. That said, could kill this. And, oh, God, the scouts. Is Red microing that right now? What the? Did you see that? Hold on. Instant replay. As you can see, it was very worth it. What in the world? Hold on. I need to rewatch this. Okay. Red's like, I'm a beast. I saw a pro do this once. Let's out-micro our counter unit. Boom. And I don't know if this was... Yeah, it looks intentional. It's like he could see which one a lot of the spearmen were attacking. Anyways, like... If you make a silly move look a little bit better, it's still, at the end of the day, not gonna work too well. Is on stone. Both of these civilizations have cheaper castles. Should have mentioned that. Red says supplies! So he's gonna try and go longswords against the pikes, which is not great. Because there's archers out here for blue. Red should see that. Red should think, maybe I don't go longsword. Maybe instead, I just make siege. Siege would be a really good idea for both of those. Yeah, Inca, towers, TCs, any buildings that cost stone are a little cheaper. I forget how much it is. I think it's like 560 stone or something. I don't know. But both players can make a castle soon is my point. And Red just wants to secure this area and we'll drop one here. Also, Red immediately after that fight was like, okay, I don't know what we're doing, but we're definitely not using stables anymore. Let's go archers, skirm, man-at-arms. Oh, and made fires too. Only he hasn't found any of the fish. So actually, really good job from Red. Oh, and he's redocking too. I mean, he's redocking to where there's no fish. Oh my god, holy... Bro. Not exactly what I meant. But okay. Alright. I think a castle spot for blue would be really good in front of this TC. I do like the TC. It secures more of the map. And, okay, blue is going to castle here. That's actually a really good castle, too. Because you never know if those houses are going to be shot down and then army runs in. So, that's good. He's a little scared, so he's going to add the walls. I don't mind that. Remember, when Red was here, he saw 2 archery ranges with flags on it. So, you do have to think about that. At least make a combination of something that's good against archers with whatever else you're making. Because it seems like he's going for pikeman counter. It's kind of funny, because blue never even got pikeman, right? But, hey, it worked out for blue. Already has 1 relic, by the way. And is looking for more, and might actually find these villagers. Here you see fishing ships going down. There's only 9 remaining for blue. And red is adding fish traps. Wow, okay, this is good. If you have leftover fishing ships, you can add fish traps. It's like a villager on a farm, but 700 food. And then gill nets means he will fish faster. Red is doing a great job. So one of these ladies had been converted. And the other one's not happy about it. She wants her sister back. And, well, she's dead. Her sister is alive. I'm sure she's happy about that at least. All right. So, you can tell Red is definitely looking at his economy a bit. Blue, though, is on 3 TCs. He's not producing out of all of them, but does have 3 town centers to produce more vills. And this is just never something Red expected. Red is going to lose everything here. I don't think Red is looking at this right now, my friends. Or at least is looking at it, and he's not happy to see it. And that's classic right there. Like, Red reacted, which is good, to losing his scouts to spears by going for an immediate counter. And obviously, it didn't really work out. Honestly, if there was like a lot of pikes, he didn't even have that many units anyways. Good job from blue. Okay. Red doesn't seem... it's like Red's people didn't hear about it. I guess he lost all of his scouts, so they could never pass the information along. Like, maybe Red didn't know. Maybe Red... It's like, where's my army right now? These villagers run. And this is a pretty good game, but I'm liking Blue's position more and more. Blue has defended from the castle drop, is now going to kill some vills, you'd think. Is going to get relic number 2. Is actually shooting this castle down ever so slightly. Red did get value earlier on with the scout rush, but hasn't really known what to do in Castle Age here. Okay, so how many people can relate to the problem Red just had, where he made a tech switch and then his tech switch gets countered? This is an important thing I'm about to say, because I think a lot of people, as you now have light cap killing vills and Blue. I think Blue's chasing these vills. The Blue doesn't actually realize, oh no. Okay, he realizes, good job, Blue. But I'm going to give you a tip. And as always, it depends, okay? But I'm going to give you a tip, because a lot of people make that mistake. I'm going to tell you how you protect from it, all right? Oh my god, there's a light cav in here. Oh, was that the one that was on the shoreline for like 20 minutes? I forgot about that guy. Might actually get converted here, which is kind of rare for light cav. They went from attacking him to being like, okay, we'll be friends with you. That light cav, though. Okay, well, hey, Incas can have horses now. Let's go. But listen, you look at... You obviously need to have a bit of game knowledge to do this, but... Let's say you're Franks, right? What's your best unit with Franks? Your best unit? No, it's not a petard. I know it's exciting to make those. It's a knight. Okay? So, stable's already out. He invested into the stable line. What he did was he lost some units, and he immediately tech switched into something completely different. Something completely out of what he had already gone... he took a different road than what he'd already gone down. He's kind of going backwards in a sense, right? So I'm going to tell you what you do. You have your ideal unit, and you base everything around that ideal unit. So you make the knights still. You make more knights. Yes, that's right. Against pikemen. And then you think about complementing your knights with something that helps. Perfect example of that, and usually the best complementary tool is going to be something like siege. You go knight scorpion. You're still making knights, and then you've got some siege mixed in too, right? Instead of trying to like build all these crazy new buildings and go and forget about what you're good at. So I'll use another example of that. Let's say you're an archer civ, and you lose a thing of archers and they're going skirms. Archer siege. Archer siege. You go archer siege, and then their skirms gets pushed back. Then, let's say you're an archer civ like Britons, right? And they're going siege against you. You go archers and you add a stable or two. So, like, the thought process always should be, this is my tip, might not work for you. But the thought process should be, play towards your strengths all the time, and then complement those strengths. Does that make sense? I hope that helps. Because it actually makes the game a little easier in some ways, right? Makes the game a little easier. I know that having two armies is difficult, and that's something a lot of people struggle with, but that's... I see a lot of players do what Red did in this game, and they just completely forget about where they should be, I guess. Now, the great equalizer, what's really good at doing that and complementing your armies would be siege, because you just need one building, and it can pack a real punch, right? It's not like if you're investing into another type of unit, you want to have like 2 or 3 barracks or something. Honestly, I think Blues could take this game. Blue has the eco lead. Blue has massive army. Red still really doesn't seem to have much of a clue on what to do here. Red really never took map control down here. Blue protected himself with the defensive castle. Placed a really good castle here as well. I don't see what Red does when we see trebuchets. And, in theory, arbalest, right? The great thing about siege, it does not require upgrades, and it costs no food at all. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, that's what, when I say pack a punch, it gets really good value for the cost. It can do a lot of damage for the cost. Whereas we just saw Elite Skirm come in from Red. That's 250 wood, 160 gold for just the upgrade. Then you need the blacksmith upgrades. He's gotten all these upgrades. But now he's like, oh, shoot, I've lost so much ground. Incas get very good archers. They do get full upgrades on those archers, so you can continue to make that here. And I can kind of sympathize with Red, because I said forward castle, right? But I think this castle, this is not the type of castle you wanted. You would have wanted castles over here. Blue was able to control this area of the map. This isn't going to end up being a very competitive match, but I think that this is a match where a lot of people can learn. Red trying supplies and man-at-arms and axemen just to counter something in pikemen hurt him this game. If he continues to make knights, sees what's out there, and then can complement it with a little bit of siege, in particular against archer civs, it's always very good, right? Because siege helps against the infantry and also against the archers. Yeah, exactly. 1 gold unit, 1 trash unit, 1 siege unit, kind of. Sort of, right? It does depend, but... Anyways, I'm curious to see how assertive Blue is. Looks like the answer is very. Because Blue is making trebs here. Treb down that castle. Probably treb down this castle, then treb down this castle. We have villagers fighting down here from Red. Alright. He's just running around right now. He's got nothing, man. He's not even... I mean, it's probably too late, but he's not even making anything at this point. He's just watching his empire crumble. He's like, maybe if I drag this game out, T90 won't upload this to YouTube. I know it's going to be a very valuable game where people can maybe learn, but I don't want to be embarrassed on YouTube, so I should just drag it out and not resign. Tried to make some buildings over here. Great awareness from Blue to know that the vills were still over here. Also, I love the 4 trebs. I talk about it a lot. Don't trickle trep. Go with the 4. 4 is the magic number. This TC is going to get denied. Still got that main army here, and this has just not looked close. He's on his way to Imp in that TC. Okay, does he make it to Imp or does he not make it to Imp? This is before we even talk about what can he possibly do when he gets there. This is many viewers' favorite strategy. Fast Imp into GG. Or just Imp into GG. You're like, well, I guess I'll just go Imp because I have the resources for it. But Red's got TCs up here, which would have been safer. But he probably didn't think too much about it. No! Oh, God, he's never making it. It's not Imp into GG, because he's never going to make it into Imp. This is a classic problem, because you'll look at your resources if you're panicking when you're Red trying to make stuff. And you'll be like, whoa, my resources are really high. Oh, my God. Oh, no, he realized it. He realized it. Usually, oh, he canceled it, too. Wow, okay. All of a sudden, Red is, like, here. You know, Red's doing stuff. Making light calf now, which is probably the only unit he can make. Because he doesn't have access to gold. Do you guys think Red's going to complain about the map? Like, dumb map, dumb Waller, GG. Do you think Red's that type of player? I don't necessarily think that. Also, is the game sound really loud today compared to my other content? Like, these Arbalests, let me look real quick. These Arbalests feel louder to me. Like, just a little louder than what I'm used to, but maybe I'm wrong. My cat did chew off the little, the edges of my headphones when she got in here, so maybe I'm just getting unfiltered sound here. That seems a little better. It's not loud enough. Well, I always have mine a bit quieter. I've always had mine a bit quieter, a little bit more focus on the casting, I guess. Okay, Red. I'm not trying to be rude here, my friend. But I'm not sure what you're seeing that I don't at the moment. He might not know that you can resign, you know? Maybe he just plays on until he's defeated every time. Maybe he's on a bit of a tilt streak. Heated shot! Oh, he canceled it. Nice. Blue is an experienced Low Elo Legend, let me put it that way. An experienced Low Elo Legend who made some pretty big mistakes earlier. Anyways, is this the MTC? It's not. This is the Imperial HTC. He's going to make it. And when he's there, he will not be able to afford a single upgrade. He gets zero benefit of going in. I swear, he doesn't want... Guys, he doesn't want me to be able... Maybe he resigns now. He doesn't want people to see this. Oh, cameo called fishing ship. Let's go. Let's go. Ah, that's disappointing. You don't get Hussar as Franks. Obviously, blacksmith upgrades available in Imp could help. He doesn't have golds. Blue mixing into cameos, which is a good addition. Doesn't really need many of them. Doesn't really need them at all, honestly, with this many arbs, but slowly taking out red. And there we go. Red taps out. Took him a bit. Seemed to be a bit frustrated, and blue played well. But again, I think, like, think about what happens if red doesn't completely tech switch and go into other units to counter pikemen, and he goes knights and adds a siege workshop. If he goes knights and adds a siege workshop, also the benefit of knights is you can kind of take a peek, right? Remember, he did have some awareness. He saw the ranges had flags, so he could have known archers were out. But anyways, you know, you make the knights, you have the stables, you had the resources, and then you're in a much better spot to engage against those crossbows, and then you can mix in the siege. And then if he takes a good fight here, or even if it's 50-50 and he doesn't throw away an entire army, he could have access to the rest of the map. So it wasn't like red had a really bad game here. I think red did a lot of good things. You can see good food and good wood eco. But he just gave blue the rest of the map and took some really, really poor fights in the early stages. Well, he didn't call GG. So I don't know if that counts. That always makes me sad. Like, I think GGing a lot is like kind of a classic Age of Empire player thing. I don't know. I'm always happy to see like good luck, have fun, and GGs when I'm casting Low Elo Legends. It is interesting though, because back in the day there was no ranked queue. So you could say good luck, have fun to the person as you were launching from the lobby. Now, if you're going to say good luck, have fun, it's a little bit more complicated because you're like in the game at the start. So that's harder to do, I think, for most people. Okay. I died in a similar way to red earlier. Not good at controlling two armies yet. Well, if that's the case, just make your best unit, Luke. Right? Like, what he did there was he switched units. Just, if that's the case, if you're not good at controlling two armies yet, simply go for your best unit would be my advice. Obviously, like, it is very situational. It depends, but that'd be my advice. Okay.